Add or subtract as indicated. When we're adding or subtracting a rational expression, we have to follow the same rules like if we were adding or subtracting regular fractions. So the first thing we have to check for is to see if we have a common denominator. If we have a common denominator, then the problem's already halfway done for us, so it's a lot easier to solve. If we don't have a common denominator, then we have to follow the steps for finding the least common denominator, and then rewrite the fractions with the same denominator so that we can come up with the answer. So in this case, if we look at our denominators are the same. So if we write it like we are used to writing those fractions, so 5y plus 13 over y plus 2, and we're, sorry, not plus 2, plus 1, plus 1, and then minus 1 minus 7y over y plus 1. So the denominators are the same. So now we have to deal with the numerators. So we can just write the denominator at the bottom. And we're subtracting this second part. So we can kind of think of this as subtracting a minus 1 here so that we can use the distributive property so we end up with the correct signs. So the first part, we don't have to do anything. So it's 5y plus 13. And then the second part, we need to make sure we distribute that negative sign in there. So a negative 1 times 1 gives us a negative 1, and a negative 1 times a negative 7y gives us a positive 7y. So when we're subtracting, we have to go through basically and change the signs. Then what we need to do is combine any like terms. So we can combine this 5y and this 7y to get 12y. And 13 minus 1 gives us a plus 12. So we get 12y plus 12 over y plus 1. Now we're not done yet, because if I look at the binomial at the top, I can see that I can factor out a 12. So if I factor out a 12 from this one, and I'm going to work it up here. If I factor out that 12, I end up with 12 times y plus 1 all over y plus 1. So you need to ask yourself if there's a greatest common factor, and if you have one, you want to factor it out. See if you can simplify the fraction further. So in this case now we can factor out or apply the fundamental property theory where if we have the same factor at the top and bottom, we can cancel it out. So if we do that, then our answer is just going to be 12.